Hello, everybody. This is Andrew from Four Corners English. Here today, we have another video in the series that will help you build a daily writing habit in your English learning. Adding writing to your routine can really help level up your English. Writing helps you think about phrases that you might want to say without the pressure of being in a conversation. It gives you time to think through the vocabulary and the grammar that you want to use in your own time. And then later in a conversation, you've already practiced through your writing what you want to say, and then you're ready. Do you need more support for your daily writing? Here, find a list of 100 writing prompts from Four Corners English that I've written to help you keep writing every day. 100 prompts. That's more than 3 months worth of writing ideas. Today's prompt is, what are your hobbies? Let's look at that word, a hobby. What is a hobby? A hobby is an activity, an interest, or pursuit that someone engages in for pleasure, relaxation, or as a form of recreation rather than as a primary occupation or for monetary gain. Hobbies are typically undertaken during one's leisure time and can range from something creative to physical activities or intellectual pursuits. Here are a few examples of hobbies. There's painting or drawing, where you create visual art with different mediums such as watercolors, acrylics, or pencils. Maybe your hobby is gardening, cultivating plants, flowers, or vegetables in a garden or indoor space. Perhaps your hobby is playing a musical instrument, learning to play and practicing instruments like the piano, guitar, violin, or drums. Another common hobby is photography, capturing images, using a camera, experimenting with different techniques and subjects. One of my hobbies is cooking and baking. I love trying out new recipes, experimenting with flavors, mastering culinary techniques. Another one of my hobbies is reading. I love reading. You can explore different genres of literature, fiction, nonfiction, or poetry for pleasure or for more knowledge. Another common hobby is hiking or outdoor activities, exploring nature trails, mountains, or parks, and enjoying the outdoors. Many people enjoy the hobby of crafting, engaging in activities like knitting, sewing, woodworking, or pottery to create handmade items. Another type of hobby is collecting, amassing items such as stamps, coins, vintage toys, memorabilia based on personal interest. Finally, another popular hobby is gaming, whether it is playing video games, board games, or tabletop role playing games for entertainment and challenge. These are just a few examples of hobbies. I'm sure that you can think of many more that you enjoy spending your time doing. The key aspect of a hobby is that it brings you joy, satisfaction, and a break from your normal routine. Now, I will share my response to you to the prompt, what are your hobbies? I am writing about several things to provide a good model of English writing for you. But remember, you can write as much or as little as you want, depending on your comfort. The most important thing is that you write something and that you write something every day. Even a couple of sentences can help you start a daily writing habit that will help you take your English to the next level. One of my favorite hobbies is reading. I always like to have a book on hand to read. Whether I'm traveling or just coming home from work, I always have a book that I'm reading. I read ebooks and paper books. Sometimes I check them out of the library. Sometimes people give me books as gifts, and other times I buy them for myself. Another hobby that I love is writing. I like to write articles for Four Corners English. I like to write poetry, and I enjoy writing stories. Sometimes I share my writing with many people, and sometimes I just share it with my family. Finally, I love to walk. Walking is a good exercise, but it can also be considered a hobby. In fact, some of my vacations are planned around a hike or a long walk. Having walking as a hobby keeps me fit and helps me maintain my mental health. Now it's time for you to work on your pronunciation. I encourage you to use the strategy of imitation. Read and listen to each sentence in my response. Then repeat my sentence using the same pronunciation, accent, and phrasing that I use. This practice can help you improve your accent and pronunciation in English. You may need to pause the video after each sentence. One of my favorite hobbies is reading. I always like to have a book on hand to read. Whether I'm traveling or just coming home from work, I always have a book that I am reading. I read ebooks and paper books. Sometimes I check them out of the library, sometimes people give me books as gifts, and other times I buy them for myself. Another hobby that I love is writing. I like to write articles for Four Corners English. I like to write poetry, and I enjoy writing stories. Sometimes I share my writing with many people, and sometimes I just share it with my family. Finally, I love to walk. Walking is a good exercise, but it can also be considered a hobby. In fact, some of my vacations are planned around a hike or a long walk. Having walking as a hobby keeps me fit and helps me maintain my mental health. Now it's your turn to write. Remember, write as much or as little as you want to. Even a small amount of writing will take you through the productive process of English and help you become better in writing and in speaking. Once you're happy with what you've written, I encourage you to practice it out loud. Memorize it. Practice it in front of a mirror. Practice it with an English speaking friend or with your teacher. I hope this video has been a help to you in your writing routine. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it, share it with a friend, and subscribe so you'll receive all the videos in this series. This is Andrew from Four Corners English. Remember, you can learn English.